What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be getting into my Week 6 NFL, or Week 7 NFL predictions. Yeah, it's crazy that it's already Week 7, but here we go. Let's get into my Week 6, what I got wrong and what I got right. Starting with the Washington Commanders on Thursday Night Football. Beating the Bears, I got that one right in a slugfest matchup. I did get the Niners-Falcons game wrong. That was a surprising upset for Atlanta, who's had a very surprising start to the year. I did pick the Patriots to beat the Browns as they completely thumped the Browns. Did pick the Green Bay Packers to beat the Jets, and the Jets came out in that game and won. I did say it was an upset alert, but Green Bay, very disappointing start and a good win for New York. I did pick the Jaguars to beat the Colts in a 50-50 matchup. Colts went down to take the lead on that last possession and win this game over the Jaguars with the touchdown. Big win for Indy. Did pick the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Dolphins, and I got that one right. I actually originally in my video picked the Dolphins, but then I flipped it back. So I did flip it back in time. Don't worry, guys. I did pick the Bengals to beat the Saints, and I got that one right. Did pick the Ravens to beat the Giants, and they choked away that game. Lost it again. So the Ravens lose. Did pick the Bucs to beat the Steelers, and Steelers came up with a big upset. Only 4% of people thought the Steelers were going to win that one, and Mike Tomlin and the Steelers were able to get it done. Did pick the LA Rams to beat the Carolina Panthers, and I got that one right. Did pick the Seattle Seahawks to upset the Arizona Cardinals at home. Seattle won that game with a good defensive performance. I did pick the Buffalo Bills to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in another very good matchup, but the Chiefs just couldn't quite get it done against the two best teams in the league, in my opinion, right there. Did pick the Eagles to beat the Cowboys, and Cooper Rush's run came to an end there. The Eagles stay undefeated, and I did pick the Chargers to beat the Denver Broncos. Chargers are sitting pretty right now. So that is Week 6. Let's advance to Week 7. All right, starting out with this matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins is back for tonight against for the Cardinals. New Orleans are coming off a tough loss. This is a must-win game for basically both these teams, or else this season could be tough. Both teams short weeks, but that's not very good for the Saints because they have Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Jarvis Landry all out for this one. I do believe Andy Dalton's starting in this one. I'm not sure if Jameis Winston is. I don't know. I think Andy Dalton. They're honestly better off with Andy Dalton. But yeah, the Arizona offense, I do think is going to have a better game today with DeAndre Hopkins coming back. Kyler Murray going to be able to finally play some much better football than what he's shown. Saints offense, I think this Cardinals defense has been surprisingly well. So I'm going to take the Cardinals at home. Probably a low-scoring game here between these two. But I think with DeAndre Hopkins' return and with these Saints injuries, it's going to be enough for Arizona to advance to 3-4, and the Saints will drop to 2-5. Let's move on right here. A good game here between the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Cincy to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals 3-3 to start out the year, getting the job done against the Saints last week. The Falcons obviously upset the San Francisco 49ers. I think in this game, the offense of Cincy, they had a much better week against the Saints. This Atlanta defense, very untalented. I think that this Atlanta defense is going to struggle this week. They got a lot of turnovers in the last game. I don't think they're going to have as much this game. And then on the other side of the football, with the Falcons offense, this Bengals defense has not looked too good in their last week. They've been kind of hit or miss to start out the year. I do think that they have a good game here. And with the Bengals being at home, I'm going to take them to advance to 4-3. No upset this time for the Falcons, in my opinion. All right, moving on over here. Dak Prescott's coming back from his injury, taking on the Detroit Lions. Upset alert, question mark in this game. Dak Prescott, he did not look good in his last game. I honestly don't think he's going to look too good in this game. I do think that the Cowboys are going to be able to run this football very well against this Lions defense. But I do think with the Lions coming off their bye week, they're going to be able to figure out some things on that side of the football and play a good game for them, at least. On the offensive side of the football, Detroit. Jared, they are obviously coming off a very disappointing loss to the New England Patriots. I believe in the why do I always forget his name? The Lions head coach. Let me search it. I can't. I gotta know this. Dan Campbell. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. It's easy to remember, but Dan Campbell, I think, is going to be able to get this offense going a bit. I know it's a very good defense, but they're coming off their bye week. Honestly, y'all, I'm very tempted to take the Detroit Lions. I think this is going to be a close game here. Yeah, I just with what we've seen so far, I do think Dak Prescott, this is a good defense to go up against and have some redemption. Get his return back in order. I'm just going to have to take the Cowboys there in that game, but another upset alert game here. All right, here we are. We have the Tennessee Titans hosting the Indianapolis Colts in this game. The last game that these two teams met, the Titans were able to win this game. Titans have had a 3-game winning streak now. Meanwhile, Indy coming off a big win over the Jaguars, playing a much better defense here, though. Jonathan Taylor is coming back at this game. A lot of people are counting out the Colts in this one, which is interesting. I think it's going to be a smash-mouth power football game with Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. But ultimately, I think it comes down to these two defenses, and I trust the Titans' defense more at this point, especially since they're coming off the bye over the Colts one. So I'm going to go Titans in this one. All right, moving on down here. Green Bay Packers clearly have to get some things going here, taking on the Washington Commanders, a bad football team here. If you can't win against the Commanders, this Green Bay team is going to be in it's panic time in Green Bay if they can't beat Washington. So I do think that the Aaron Rodgers in this offense, finally, they're playing a very bad defense here in Washington. I think that they're going to be able to get some things going on that side of the ball, finally. For the defense, Taylor Heineke's in. It's time for you to finally get this defense going a bit. And honestly, I think this is the perfect time for Green Bay to finally get some things together and get a win over Washington. But another upset, man. If this happens, it's time to really start panicking against Green Bay. All right, moving on here. Another bounce-back game for another team. Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Buccaneers right now at 3-3, coming off a disappointing loss. And Carolina, clearly the worst team in football. This should be a win for Tampa Bay. Tom Brady, especially for this defense. I think this defense needs to get some things going. They're playing a very bad offense here with, I don't even know who's going to start for them, Walker or Eason. Not even sure when Darnold comes back. So I'm going to give this one to the Bucs. But yeah, Carolina's just that bad, I think. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they know Tom Brady, a team led by Tom Brady, is going to be able to win against a very bad team like that. So I'm going to take the Bucs. All right, let's move on down here. We're going to have the New York Giants taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, the 5-1 New York Giants team. A lot of people counted up the Jaguars in this one. The Giants have had a very good start up to the year, beating teams like the Ravens and the Packers in back-to-back weeks. Well, now, a struggling Jaguars team, can they keep up the win streak? Sorry, I had to drink some water there for a bit, but this is a difficult one for me to predict, honestly. The Giants, clearly, they're just a well-coached team. I don't think they have too much talent, but they've won, so you got to respect them for it. On the offensive side of the ball, I think this Giants offense is going to be able to get some things going against a very bad Jacksonville defense. I just don't like the matchup here for the Jaguars, especially with the way they're playing. I'm going to have to take the Giants in this one. Okay, save. On the road, I know it's in Jacksonville, but I'm going to take the Giants here. All right, let's move on down here. We're gonna have the Browns, the 2-4 Browns, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Browns looked very bad in their last game, but they're playing a much easier defense here in Baltimore. So I think this could be a big bounce back game for Cleveland. I do think this Browns defense, this Browns offense is going to be able to have a little bit more success like they had earlier on in the year against teams like the Chargers, and teams such as that. For the Ravens on the offensive side of the ball, I feel like Lamar Jackson's going to be play pissed. I feel like if they won that game against the Giants, this could be an upset alert. I'm not taking it though. I think the Browns are going to drop down to 2-5. Um, and Lamar Jackson is going to be able to exploit this defense, who has been very underwhelming to start of the year. All right, let's move on here. We got an interesting matchup here. The 4-2 New York Jets go to Denver to take on the Broncos. Russell Wilson now has to go up against another solid defense here in New York with these young cornerbacks. It really comes down to Nathaniel Hackett. Is he finally going to be able to make some adjustments? I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to. They are at home in this game. On the other side of the ball, this Jets offense is playing a very good New York defense. So I think this is going to be another matchup for Denver where it's going to be a game that the Denver are going to have a chance to win it. Will it finally be time for the Denver Broncos to get a win? I think so. With at home, I still believe in Russell Wilson and what he brings to the table for the Broncos. I think that they get the win. All right, let's move on here. We have the Houston Texans at 1-3-1, traveling to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders here at 1-4. Both these teams are coming off their bye. Raiders, they so desperately need a win here. I'm not even going to dive in too much in this game. I think the Raiders are just clearly the better football team here with a must-win game. I think the Raiders Texas have been a scrappy team, but I think the Raiders are going to win this one pretty handily. All right, let's move on down here for the another good game here. The 3-3 Seattle Seahawks go to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Going to be a much better test for this Seahawks defense against a proven Chargers offense, which the Chargers kind of struggled in the last game. They are at home in this one. This is an interesting one, guys, honestly. I do think that Justin Herbert's going to be able to get some things going. I do believe Keenan Allen's going to be back in this game for them as well, so that's going to help out the Chargers a lot. And Justin Herbert can get some things going. On the other side of the ball, Seahawks offense playing a pretty solid Chargers defense in this game. I do think Geno Smith and this run game can get going here. But ultimately, I do think that the Chargers are going to get this win here. But another upset territory game right there. All right, let's move on right here. We're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers here. The Chiefs are at 4-2 right now. And coming off a disappointing loss, the San Francisco 49ers 3-3. Yeah, I mean, this Niners defense is very injured up here in this game, and that's tough for them to battle out against a very good Chiefs team. And then on Jimmy G. Garoppolo, this Chiefs defense has been very good to start out the year. So I know it's in San Francisco, but I think that the Chiefs are going to have a bounce-back win in this game and beat the Niners. All right. Here we got the Sunday night game in Tua's return. The Steelers travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. This is a good game for the Tua's return, playing a very bad Steelers offense. I know they're coming off a win, but yeah, this Dolphins defense I think is going to be able to slow down this Steelers offense a bit. And Tua, if he can show up, which I think he's going to have a good game today against the Steelers defense, I think that the Dolphins offense will be able to show why they were so good for so long, and they're going to be able to get a win. Moving on down here, we're going to have the Chicago Bears traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. Chicago at 2-4 to start at the year. This is a must-win game for them. New England 3-3 on Monday Nighter. This might be a snooze fest game. I think that this New England offense is going to run all over the Chicago Bears, and Justin Fields is going to have no success against this New England defense. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Those are my predictions for this week. Comment down below your predictions. I forgot to say this, but I am 60-33 to start of the year, so take it whatever you want. And anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Peace.